Hello, Pisces. I'm Art Kozak. This is Art Kozak Tarot, and I'm here to give you your forecast for March 2nd through the 8th, 2020. So, Pisces, I see right now you are kind of in a dreamy state. You're letting yourself daydream, you're letting yourself imagine, and that has to do with the exploration of your intuition. And I think probably you know that. You're exploring your intuitive capacity to dream and to imagine that which might be materially possible. Okay, not everything you're dreaming about is going to be possible, and you know that. But it's what the attitude that you've got right now has to do with letting your intuition speak to you and letting your intuition kind of um, give nurturance to those flowers of imagination that might find some correspondent out in the world. I see that you've been working quite a lot on your stability, on the foundations of your life. You may have had something to celebrate there. I think there's the possibility that you have achieved some financial goal, some material prosperity. You've achieved the goal of some material prosperity. You had to deal with a lot of nonsense at one point and able to get through that. It might have gotten your gumption up to an extent, having to deal with a lot of pay issues. But then what you came to very quickly was a place where you realize, oh, okay, now I'm financially self-sufficient. Okay, my money's good, and my material life is good. My material self, I'm good there. And so now it is time to really begin working on the foundations, because now you have the means. Now you're going to be putting them into effort, into material reality. And that might start, for you, that might start with celebration, with celebrating that with another person or with a group of people. Celebrating the stability that you have in your life in terms of your relationships, but especially in terms of your material life, is a very good thing, and it's a very good way to start. So you may have some kind of get together. You may invite people over. You may simply have the opportunity to share your enthusiasm with other people in a way that generates happiness all around. And that's fantastic. I mean, that's a really good place from which to start to secure those foundations, not just the material foundations, but foundations in terms of your relationships as well. Near the end of the week, later on, you're going to reach a point of clarity after giving vent to all of those good feelings. Mental clarity is going to come your way, especially where it relates to your work, to your job, and whether or not you have a good match with what you're doing for money, and your repetitive tasks that you do on a regular basis, that you put your effort in order to accomplish the material goals that you have. You're going to be kind of you're going to have a light bulb moment when it comes to that, whether or not that truth of whether or not what you've got in that realm of your life really is good for you. And I think it is good for you, but this is an area in which you get to use your own judgment. This is a very good event to take place, or a very good development, especially when you're working with your intuition and developing your intuition, because the clear mind, the clear logical mind, and the intuition both being there for you is a state that you really want to, that most people would really want to get to. It can be a very productive state. Now, what this is going to do for you, what this whole major cycle for you is going to do for you this week, is put you in a place where you are very hopeful, and you have a lot of optimism for the future, and it's genuine optimism. Okay, you see the good things down the road for you, but you also know that you have to set some boundaries. And whether those are boundaries with other people, or those are boundaries that you have to set for yourself. There are some things that you have to count as wins and some things that you have to maybe lose. Okay? And that's going to be an evaluation you're going to need to go through in order to get down this prosperous road. And I think you're going to be happy to do that. You're going to be happy to set those boundaries so that you can have a clear road in front of you. I see other people in your life this week. Again, you're going to have the opportunity to share the love, to share some joy with other people, I think. But I also see somebody in your life. Watch out for this. There may be someone who is kind of conniving around you right now in the coming week. Someone who is kind of known as a jovial person, some kind of like a jovial kind of person, probably a male figure, but not necessarily always the most trustworthy, who is behaving in an untrustworthy manner, especially where it has to do with money, where it has to do with those money issues. I don't want to, cast suspicion for you on anyone in your life, but just take a look around and make sure that everyone around you is on the up and up, especially where it comes to those financial issues, because I see you dealing with a lot. I mean, you've experienced some material prosperity. You are building the foundations of your life. You're developing your intuition, so the heart is involved. And with all this going on with you, it's a good idea, potentially, to just keep your eyes open and make sure there are not any snakes in the grass, okay? Especially where it comes to those finances. So I hope something that I've had to say here is helpful for you in the coming week. Please comment, like, subscribe. There's a link to our Patreon page in the description box below if you're interested in that as well. Once again, I'm Art Kozak, and I look forward to speaking to you again in the future.